Political sexualism also because of certain events happening throughout the government. Different ideas and perspectives led to sexualism between the North and South. In an effort to preserve a balance of power in Congress between slave and free states, the Missouri Compromise was passed in 1820, admitting Missouri as a slave state, Maine as a free state. In 1854, the Missouri Compromise was repealed by the Kansas-Nebraska Act. The nullification crisis was a United States sectional political crisis in 1832-33 during the presidency of Andrew Jackson, which involved a confrontation between South Carolina and the federal government. The Wilmot Proviso proposed an American law to ban slavery in territory acquired from Mexico in the Mexican War. The conflict over Wilmot Proviso was one of the major events leading to the American Civil War. Fugitive Slave Law or Fugitive Slave Act was passed by the United States Congress on September 1850. As part of the compromise of 1850 between Southern slave-holding interests and Northern free souls, abolitionists nicknamed it the Bloodhound Law for dogs that were used to track down runaway slaves. On January 29, 1850, Whig Senator Henry Clay gave a speech for compromise on the issue, dividing the Union. It was enacted September 1850 with the following terms: California admitted as a free state, Utah Territory and New Mexico Territory organized with slavery to be decided by popular servitude. The Kansas-Nebraska Act was passed by the U.S. Congress on May 30, 1854. It allowed people in the territory of Kansas and Nebraska to decide for themselves whether or not to allow slavery within the border. The act served to repeal the Missouri Compromise of 1820, which pro-slavery north of latitude sovereignty or the sovereignty of the people's will is part of the seven principles that the autonomy of a state and its government is created and sustained by the consent of its people through the elected representatives ruled by the people. Kansas Border Reform was the name applied to pro-slavery activists from the slave state of Missouri who in 1854 to 1860 crossed the state border into Kansas territory to force the acceptance of slavery. John Brown, May 9, 18,000, December 2, 1859, was an American abolitionist who believed in an advocated armed insurrection as the only way to overthrow the intent of slavery in the United States. He first gained attention when he led small groups of volunteers during the Bleeding Kansas crisis of 1856. Austin Brooks beat Charles Sumner with a cane. Senator Charles Sumner of Massachusetts was an avowed abolitionist and leader of the Republican Party. After the sack of Lawrence on May 21, 1856, he gave a bitter speech in the Senate called "The Crime Against Kansas." Dred Scott was an enslaved African-American man in the United States who unsuccessfully sued for his freedom and that of his wife and their two daughters in the Dred Scott versus Sandford case of 1857, popularly known as the Dred Scott case. The Lincoln-Douglas debate was a series of 7 debates between Abraham Lincoln, the Republican candidate for the United States Senate from Illinois, and incumbent Senator Stephen Dolan, the Democratic Party candidate. John Brown's raid on Harper's Ferry was an effort by armed abolitionists John Brown to intimidate an army slave revolt in 1859 by taking over the United States Arsenal at Harper's Ferry, Virginia. The United States presidential election of 1860 was the 19th quadrennial presidential election to select the President and Vice President of the United States. The election was held on Tuesday, November 6, 1860. The election of Lincoln served as the primary catalyst of the American Civil War. The declaration of imminent causes which induced of justifying the secession of South Carolina from the Federal Union was a proclamation issued on December 24, 1860 by the government of South Carolina to explain its reason for seceding from the United States for tax of the declaration. Major Robert Anderson led the small force of U.S. soldiers at the Fort Sumter. The Confederate leaders ordered an attack just before the sunrise on April 12, 1861. A shell exploded above Fort Sumter. It was the first shot fired in American Civil War. Major Robert Anderson led the small force of U.S. soldiers at Fort Sumter.